Have you been quietly telling yourself that maybe your time has passed? That subtle voice that whispers, I missed my window. It's too late to pivot. People will think I'm foolish. If that thought has ever crossed your mind, this message is for you. And that's because I've wrestled with those same sneaky thoughts. They show up when you start to dream again. They creep in when you begin to believe there might be more for you. So today, I want to speak directly to those thoughts, that try to convince us that time has run out. Some of you are 45, some of you are 55, and some of you are 60 and beyond. And you're just getting started. I need you to hear this clearly. It's not too late. Age is not an obstacle. It is not a disqualification. It is not proof that you missed your chance. Here's the truth that I believe. If God put that dream in your heart, He did not attach an expiration date to it. He did not accidentally overlook your age, your resume, or your timeline. Age is not a barrier. Agreement with fear is. Age is experience, it's wisdom, it's resilience earned through real life. And sometimes what feels like delay is actually preparation. What if the years you thought set you back were the very years that built you? And here's the thing, there's proof everywhere of inspiring individuals who refuse to let age define their timeline. Here's just a few. Colonel Harlan Sanders was in his 60s when he began franchising KFC after his original restaurant failed. Designer Vera Wang did not design her first dress until she was 40. Before that, she was a competitive figure skater and a journalist. Grandma Moses began painting in her late 70s and became one of the most recognized folk artists in the world. Stan Lee co-created his first major Marvel superhero in his late 30s, but his greatest success came in his 40s and beyond. Julia Child published her first cookbook at 49 and became a television icon after 50. Ray Kroc was 52 when he expanded what became McDonald's into a global brand. Morgan Freeman landed his first movie role at 52. Betty White became a true cultural icon in her 50s and continued thriving for decades. Walt Disney was 53 when he opened Disneyland on July 17, 1955. And in the Bible, Abraham was 75 when God told him to leave everything familiar and to step into his destiny. 75, not 25, not 35, 75. So maybe the time that you're questioning is actually divine timing. Maybe your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond aren't the closing chapters. Maybe they are the chapters where clarity meets courage. Age is not an obstacle. It is evidence that you survived, you learned, you grew, and now you're ready. So who told us it was too late? In midlife, I have come to realize that the real battle is in our mind. When you start to believe there's more for you, your mind will often try to talk you out of it. It will remind you of your mistakes, the time that has passed, the money you don't have, the credentials you lack. But here's what's important to understand. Our brain is designed to keep us safe, not successful. The amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for detecting threats, does not distinguish well between a real physical danger and an emotional risk, like starting a business, speaking publicly, or trying something new. To our nervous system, uncertainty feels like danger. Research in neuroscience shows that the brain has a built-in negativity bias, meaning a tendency to focus more on potential threats than potential rewards. From an evolutionary standpoint, this kept us alive, but in modern life, it often keeps us stuck. So when you step towards growth, your brain scans for risk. It highlights what could go wrong. It magnifies past failures. It urges you to retreat to what's familiar because familiar feels safe. But familiar is not always aligned with your aspirations and the dreams that we have. But here's the powerful part: neuroplasticity. Studies in brain science confirm that the brain can rewire itself through repeated thought patterns and new behaviors. When you consciously challenge fearful thoughts, take small courageous actions, and expose yourself to manageable risk, you strengthen new neural pathways. Over time, courage becomes less threatening. Confidence becomes more natural. This means fear isn't a stop sign, it's a signal that you're stepping into something new. And the truth is this: the only thing that can truly stop you now is agreement with those fearful thoughts. Every dream requires courage. Every new season requires faith. And growth always begins by retraining the mind to see expansion, not as danger, but as possibilities. And yes, there will be days you doubt, but you don't quit because it's hard. You don't shrink because it's uncomfortable. You stay anchored in the assignment that God has placed in your heart. There is something our Creator assigned specifically to you, not to someone younger, not to someone more educated, not to someone with more followers, but you and me. And the direction you're moving matters more than your starting point. So start where you are. You don't need to leap, just move one step at a time. Read one book, make one call, take one class, write one page, have one conversation. Momentum builds confidence, and action silences doubt. And let me remind you, success is rarely convenient. It's uphill. But uphill means you're climbing. If the dream still stirs something in you, if you still feel that pull, that there is something more, that's not random. That's a calling. And a calling doesn't retire. The greatest tragedy isn't starting late. The greatest tragedy would be never starting at all. The question is not, how old am I? The question is, what direction am I moving toward? I hope you enjoyed this message as much as I enjoyed recording it for you. I want you to really sit with this question. What dream have you been postponing because you thought you missed your window? What if this is your window? I hope this stirred something in you. I hope it reminded you that it is never too late to get excited about a new dream and a goal. And if this encouraged you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs the reminder that their time is not up, it's just beginning. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video as we continue this journey together. Bye, friends.